Is there anything in the world that has a higher priority than one's own faith? Listen to the story of one man who puts his own convenience and feelings first and ended up in a pitiful way. My name is Leah. I'm a 35-year-old housewife who works part-time, does household chores, and raises a child. My husband Joshua is an ordinary of worker, and we have our 4-year-old daughter is our princess. My daughter is growing up well, and like we have a perfect life together. Our marriage is relatively happy, and I have no complaints about my husband. I thought that our days would be peaceful, but my daily life was disrupted by event.
What? Your sister is pregnant?
The news took me by surprise because my sister-in-law had always said she would be single for the rest of her life and that she would be devoted to her career. She was what you would call a careless person, and I secretly respected her for that.
Congratulations. What's he like? Is there going to be a wedding soon?
When I asked my husband, he was uncomfortable to answer.
My sister's partner has a wife and,
What? That's a great idea.
well, my sister was more passionate.
She knew he was married for a long, continued the relationship anyway. Then she found out she was pregnant, ran away, and disappeared. So she decided to have the baby alone.
Oh, is that so?
To be honest, as a married woman, I was uncomfortable that she would have a relationship with someone she knew was married, but I decided to be happy for her.
So it seems that she's going to go to our parents' house to raise her chihuahua. Even though my parents are still there, it must be a lot of work. I'm thinking of checking in on her until things settle down, you know?
I understand his concern for his younger sister who is going to have a baby. That's why I accepted my husband's.
Okay, let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
Thanks. I appreciate it. You take care for me, please. I guess my parents and I will have to deal with the situation.
I was a little touched that my husband is such a kind person. I knew he was a good father. That's thought at the time. Time passed, and my sister-in-law gave birth to a healthy baby boy. He was named Aaron. I thought it would be inconvenient that we visit right after the birth. So I decided to go see the baby after she had settled down. But then I started to notice something strange in my husband.
Hey, Mom. Isn't Daddy coming home to...
Sorry, honey. He's busy right now. Please be patient a little longer.
I wish I could talk to Daddy.
Zoe's words made my heart ache. My husband hasn't come home for days. Since my sister-in-law gave birth, she only comes home about 2 days a week. The rest of the days, he spends at his parents' house. I accepted my husband's proposal. Beale imagined it would go this far.
Hey, Joshua, I think this is a little too weird. You should come home a little more misses you.
I called my husband and told him right away. But he said that he had not been able to find any evidence of a link between the two.
What are you talking about? She has now, and it's the hardest time of her life.
My husband got upset, saying I was six-handed the phone to his parents.
Hello, Leah. If you have a child too, you'd understand that, right?
It's true. You know our daughter has no husband. Why don't you show a little compassion?
Neither my in-laws nor my husband seem to think this situation is unacceptable. It's not right that a father comes 2 days a week. After that, I patiently continued to husband for help. Then, he said,
Leah, I didn't know you were such a person. All right, I'll let him come home.
and he started coming home, but it was clear that he wasn't happy. I was angry at his attitude, but Mai was so happy to see her daddy back swallowed my anger. Then one day, he found himself in a strange land.
Hey, where the hell are you?
I called my husband in a harsh tone.
Where am I? Of course, I'm at my parents' house.
What? It's Zoe's birthday today. Yesterday. Why don't you come home?
What? Today is the day we're having my parents' house, you know. Besides, I have to be there and later.
Huh? Whose father are you?
By the time I raised my voice, the already off the hook, my husband didn't come home that day all.
I wonder Daddy doesn't like me.
Zoe murmured with a dejected look on her face.
Daddy's busy at work today. So let's play with Mommy today, okay?
I almost cried myself as I watched my daughter's sad face as she tried to hold back tears.
Who's your father? What about your sister?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by edit, but I can certainly help with any spelling or grammar mistakes.
What? Is there something?
No, it's not like that. It's just been through a lot, so I have to be there for her.
But your mom and dad are at home. Why need to be there too?
When I asked him about it, he just me like I was the bad guy. I remember when my husband and I decided to get married, my sister-in-law said that she had a feeling it was going to be a beautiful wedding.
I thought my brother loved me the mo. I'm glad he finally found the right.
And at the time, I just thought my sister-in-law was a wonderful, independent career woman. But it wasn't all. My suspicion grew. Some time passed, and Aaron grew older. We decided to have a birthday party at our parents-in-law's house. To be honest, I didn't want to go.
Is Aaron getting bigger? I want to him.
My daughter said so innocently.
Let's celebrate Aaron's birthday with the whole family.
My husband said, "You weren't there for Zoe's birthday." But I remember how she was so sad that day. On the day of the party, we dressed her favorite dress and left for my house. My husband had gone back to his parents-in-law's house the day before, so it was just me and Zoe. After a year of this lifestyle, it became the norm. My husband is away on a lot of business trips, and it feels like that. When we arrived at my parents' house, there was a lot of food, decorations, and presents for Aaron were all lined up.
Happy birthday, Aaron.
Zoe showed Aaron the presents and gave one to his mother, the sister-in-law.
Wow. Aaron, I'm so happy for you.
Without a word of thanks, the sister-in-law walked right past Zoe. I got the impression that she's not a bad person. She wasn't always like this. My daughter seemed a little hurt by attitude and had a sour look on her. At this point, I was in the mood to. Then my husband, who had already driven to pick up our daughter, called me back and said, "I'm here with your daughter. She's fine."
Zoe, come here.
Zoe felt happy to be called by her, ran to him, smiling. "Zoe will be Aaron's wife in the future, right?" he said. "What the?" I was about to say something, but my replied, "No, I am going to marry William." "William? Who's that?" "William. He's my friend from Prescott. He's smart and cool. I like William." Zoe said this and tried to tell him what happened at the preschool. Then my husband suddenly, "No, you're not going to marry Aaron no matter what else happens." He yelled at her like a crazy person. I couldn't help but storm over to my, "Hey, what did you say?" "Zoe is gay." "You, Leah, you should at least disc your daughter. She can't have a boy."
I can't believe you'd say such a thing to your own daughter.
"Moreover," my sister-in-law said,
I'm looking forward to the wedding. Zoe, go out with anyone, Leah.
she wasn't joking. She looked serious. It was even creepier that my parents were laughing, as if they agreed with my sister-in-law. I can't take it anymore. I don't war in this place one more second. I couldn't help but raise my voice.
Don't be ridiculous. Zoe is a person, not a puppet.
I took my daughter by the hand and went to my parents-in-law's house. She's never had a grown man yell at her like that before.
That's not Daddy. That's not Daddy. Not Daddy. Right, Mommy?
I hugged her tight and made up my mind. I don't need him. He's a lousy husband and father. I took immediate action. To protect my daughter, I decided that we would stay with my parents for a while. Finally, about 2 weeks after we are 6, I received a call from my husband.
Hey, where are you?
I don't have to answer that question you want.
I can't believe he found out we were married only after 2 weeks. I guess that means he didn't come home at all. After all, he doesn't care about my daughter.
What's wrong with you? How's Zoe?
What is it?
I don't have to answer that question, bye.
With that, I hang up the phone. I wanted to avoid any contact between my husband for a while. So I didn't tell him where we were. But then he started contacting me again.
Come on, Leah. Tell me where you are to see Zoe. We're, family being separated from each other is not right.
And when I wouldn't tell him where, he finally exploded in anger.
Don't turn Zoe around for your reasons.
Who are you to tell me what to do? He was so selfish that I got angry at him over the phone.
If you're going to talk like that as well, come here.
When I told my husband that I was going to stay at my parents' house, he visited me that weekend. When Zoe saw my husband, she quickly went behind me. He was shocked by her reaction.
So, hey, it's Daddy. What's wrong?
I don't like you. You scare me. I am mommy only.
She grabbed my clothes and wouldn't. Deciding it was too dangerous to court, took my husband outside.
Zoe? Why?
He's holding his head in his hands.
You see, it's not me who's rejecting you. It's Zoe. Of course, she rejected you. After you acted like that. No wonder she hates you. A father who comes home and puts his nephew before his own son?
But I did it for my sister's sake.
Whose father are you? What is your you?
My husband is silent. I asked my parents to take care of daughter for now and decided to go nearby coffee shop to talk with Mai about the future. As soon as I sat down at the table, I picked up the divorce papers from my husband. He looked at me with a stunned expression on his face.
Please divorce me. I want to get away from you, and so does Zoe.
I only wanted to do it for my sister. I thought you and Zoe would understand.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Why do we have to go along with your selfishness?
I came down hard on my husband, but I knew what he had been doing and said,
I could have laughed it off about Zoe becoming Aaron's wife, but you yelled at her and never apologized. Do you have any idea how much it hurt Zoe and how much she cried? You are always talking about yourself. I ask you again, what does your sister mean to you? She doesn't seem like just a sister.
Then my husband began to whisper that they traveled together to hot spring overseas, sent each other presents, others' birthdays, and they always roomed together at home. When my sister-in-law found out that her husband and I were getting married, she thought that he loved me the most. I knew it was to be expected, but the siblings had an unusual and extraordinarily emotional connection.
I don't have a relationship with her, no, but I love her. I love her as a person, and I love her sister. Found out that she was having a baby. I wanted to help her.
Having Aaron and Zoe get married was my husband and sister-in-law's idea. If we can't be together, then let our children get married. How horrifying. The reason behind the husband neglecting his wife and daughter, I see it all now.
Do you think I'm gonna let you G with that? I will never forgive you for your see Zoe. And how dare you say that families should be together?
My husband kept his head down and spoke in a quiet voice.
My sister is moving out soon. She's married.
You're just gonna try to make us a family again. That's not gonna happen.
My husband's immediate response was on to me.
I will be a good father from now on.
He bowed his head.
Give me a break. I don't trust you. Zoe feels the same way. We don't want to upset our parents or your sister too. It's completely insane that people so openly about what happened at the party. Since then, Zoe has never been able to trust any adult outside me and my parents. She just wanted to celebrate her Cole birthday. You destroyed her innocence. I won't let you do it anymore. And never forgive you. I want a divorce. I'll get custody. I can't leave them with you. What do you say?
I've just completely cut off my lifeline,
Goodbye.
I said coldly. I will do everything I can for my dad, as he has done for me, and always will. I became a mother with that determination to give my child the best life possible. After that, my husband and I divorced. I got custody of my daughter, and he me monthly child support. After the divorce, he moved back in parents. I guess the separation from his daughters was very hard on him. So he started a lot of work and eventually resigned. He is now unemployed and a recluse. I know this because his parents are enough to tell me what's going on.
Please, give him a chance. He's Zoe after all.
I'm not getting back together with. If I did, there's no point in getting a divorce. He had it coming. It's not right to come crying to me now. There must be another reason why my life is in such a miserable state. My sister-in-law, with whom he had a relationship, has moved out. By the way, my sister-in-law is married to the father of Aaron, the man she had an affair with. He divorced his wife and remarried his sister-in-law and was forced to pay his ex-wife a considerable amount of alimony. His sister is also in a difficult financially. Well, if she wanted to marry him, Eve had to pay the price, I guess that. But I hear that their marriage is deteriorating due to their financial difficulties. Money is tight and the typical end near. As for me, I quit my part-time job and got a full-time job. I'm raising my daughter with her dad as a single parent. Just knowing that my daughter is happy and enjoying her life makes me, her mother, happy. I'm glad I had her, and I'm grateful to my ex-husband for giving me this child. On my birthday, Zoe baked a cake with my mother and wrote me a letter.
Thank you for everything, Mom. You make me proud of you. I love you.
My daughter hugs me.
Thank you. I love you too, Zoe.
I would do anything for her. I would do anything for her. A mother cannot rest to protect her daughter's smile.